Welcome. In front of me is Huawei Pura 7D Ultra, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks you can do on this device. So to get started, let's open up our settings, and I'm going to begin with the home screen and style, where you will have a bunch of options that you can utilize to customize your look and feel of the device. Now we have simple things like wallpapers that you can access from here, but you also have things like themes, always on displays, magazine unlocks, icons, and so on. Now personally I'm gonna stick with always on display right here, and I do want to turn it off as it does consume a little bit too much battery. So let's see, gonna toggle it off in here. That's just my personal preference. I do like to turn it off, as on this device specifically it does when it's like the one that I had, it's basically the display is always on, and not in a fun way, kind of like the timer just being visible. So it was using a little bit too much battery, which you can kind of see based on the low battery that I have right here. But you can also customize icons right here, which the device comes with a bunch of packs already pre-installed, which is pretty neat. Now moving on to the next thing, we can navigate a little bit lower to the display and the brightness, and in here I'm going to start off with the dark mode. Now here we have two options. We can either enable it permanently, or we can enable it on a schedule, which will switch between these two modes based on your provided time. So by default it's going to be on the light mode, and this time defines when it switches to dark. Now continuing on, below that we have color mode and temperature, and here we have two options. We have normal mode and vivid. I believe the device will probably come by default with vivid mode, as this is what almost every device comes with. So you could change it to the normal, which is supposedly sRGB or P3 gamut. So yeah, might be a little bit more color accurate. And additionally below we have also warm or cold tones, or default ones, and a wheel which you can just drag the little dot yourself, and you can see that it will just adapt to whatever you select. Now going back to the display, you also have things like refresh rate in here. So screen refresh rate, we have it set to dynamic, which will be the go-to option for majority of the people, but if you want to preserve battery life you might want to select standard. And we also have the screen resolution. So again, it's set to smart, which just automatically picks between those. Here we do have a little bit over 1080p and a little bit below 1080p, so so you can choose between those. Both of those shouldn't really look that much different in terms of sharpness, at least I can never tell the difference. So might be better to lower it down if you don't see any kind of change in the resolution, at least the image quality, and you might get a bit better battery life. Now continuing on, let's navigate to the notification and status bar, and here we have an interesting option under the status bar, which is the simple display. This hides a bunch of unneeded toggles that are typically visible right here, like the info about no SIM card, some notifications, and other things that you might not care, like NFC, network speed, and so on. So it just makes your status bar much cleaner. And last thing that I wanted to show you is right at the bottom under system and update, system navigation. And here you can select the gesture navigation, which again adds to that clean aesthetics. And I'm going to close this, I don't care about learning. And under settings, we have also the show navigation bar, which is the bar at the bottom that you would normally see. You can enable that if it just gives you kind of like a peace of mind to know where you need to swipe up, but in general it serves no purpose. It just visually indicates that you can swipe up, but still it works exactly the same if it's visible or not. So with that being said, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.